Welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be having a look at a Lenovo. It's a, I'm not sure what it is, it's a V15 G2. It's a Ryzen 5 5500U CPU, 8GB of memory and 512 of storage. So here's the classic box. Let's have a look at it. Let's see if we can get into this fairly easily. Okay, so packaging wise, not your cardboard insert, which is nice to see. Comes well packaged with some good strong foam. In the side here we should have our power adapter, which already comes with a UK plug on it, which is good. Let's have a look and see if we can see what it is. Looks like it's a either a 45 watt or 65 watt. Let's have a look. 65 watt power adapter. And on the end we've got one of the small tip types. So let's go ahead and get this unpacked and have a look at it. Okay, so here we are with the device itself. It comes in a sort of grey speckle embossed type of finish, plastic with our Lenovo logo on the side. Before we open it up, we'll just talk around the options and what you get with it. So we've got our power input here, then we've got our power LED, then we've got let's just double check on the other side. So yeah, so this is on this side we've got one Type A USB 3.2 Gen 1 port, so this is 5 gigabit signaling rate. Then we've got our HDMI connector, which is only 1.4B standard, but it's enough to power a monitor. And then next to that we've got our USB Type C port. This is 3.2 Gen 1 and it supports data transfer only, so there's no video signaling in this this port. And it is by the look of it, it's a non-charging port, as it only supports data transfer. Then we've got our combined headset jack. Nothing on the front. And then around the other side, excellent. We've got our Kensington lock. We've got a USB 2.0 Type A port. And then we've got an RJ45 Ethernet adapter. I'm not sure at the moment what the speed of that Ethernet adapter is. I would have hoped it's 1 gigabit, but you never know. So let's go with saying it's a 1 gigabit Ethernet adapter. Underneath we've got our fan over here, so our intake is here and our exhaust, by the look of it, will be out the back behind the screen. So I'm not a fan of the exhaust vents in front of the screen because it blows hot air up the screen, but it is what it is. So on the sides we've got our two speaker outputs. These are, I think, 1.5 watts, so fairly quiet, but we'll see what that sounds like later. And it's Dolby audio. We've got our footrests here. This doesn't act as a hinge, but it uses this back rubber bar to keep the back off a flat surface. Oh, nice. Okay, so inside, what have we got? We've got our keyboard protection. We've got our premium care plan gumph. Looks fairly basic. Yeah, don't know what to say really. Usual trackpad. Let's talk about the webcam. So this is a 720p webcam, and the nice thing about this one is it does come with a privacy filter, so you just flick the top to cover the webcam when it's not in use. Not sure if it's a backlit keyboard. There is no fingerprint reader on here, but it's a 15.6 inch screen, diagonal screen. And let's just briefly talk about the rest of the specifications while we're here. So The screen is 15.6 Full HD, 250 nits and anti-glare, so it's the matte finish, which I'm a big fan of. I don't like the glossy screens. 250 nits. It's going to be okay for indoor use. Don't expect to be able to see a huge amount if you go outside in really bright conditions. And now let's talk about the CPU. So as I mentioned, it's a 5500U, so it's a 6-core 12-thread 2.1 gigahertz base clock, boosting up to 4 gigahertz. Comes with a 3 megabytes of L2 cache and 8 megabytes of L3 cache. Graphics wise, this is, as you would expect, AMD Ryzen 5, so it comes with Radeon graphics as standard. And then the memory configuration is a little bit disappointing. So it comes with 8 gig of soldered DDR4 3200 megahertz memory. So you're not going to be able to upgrade in terms of sticking a whole kit in by the look of it, or by the sounds of it. We will have a look at that later. And then the storage in here is 512 gig SSD. It's an M.2 2242 PCI 3x4 NVMe drive. So that's pretty much it. Let's now go ahead and have a look at the internals, just to double check to see what the options are and see if we can get into this the device, see how easy or difficult it is. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get a nice soft cloth down so we don't scratch anything. And then looking over at the back, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12, 11 screws. And you want a Phillips screwdriver. And you want a selection of prizer tools. Okay, so let's get all of these screws out and see if they're all the same size. So far so good. Okay, so the ones along the front are short screws, so you want to make sure that they all go back in the right holes. What you don't want to be doing is trying to cram a super long screw into a tiny little hole. Right. Okay, so it's only the screws along the front that are shorter. The rest of them are all the same size. I think that's pretty much it for there. Now let's see if we can get into this unit. Normally the corner is the good starting point, which the same applies here. For the corner, you can just get enough lift on there just to get a prizer tool in, and then start running it down the side to unclip things, and the same along the front. Okay, now when you get round this side, you're probably going to have to go in around the back. So if we go round, concentrate on this corner, get this one hinged up, and then along the back, get round this corner. So that's the trick. You want to be careful when you're going past the RJ45 flap. Okay, and that's it. So that wasn't too difficult to get into. Let's now take a look at the internals. Okay, nice. All right, so just have a quick hunt around to see if we can find everything. So over here we've got our M.2 drive with a thermal pad. We've got a thermal pad on the top of there. So that's our M.2 drive. I am not going to take that out, no need to. It looks like this could well be memory under there. We've got a space here for a 2.5-inch drive. Let's see if we can find where the connector is for that. And here's the connector. So you can mount a 2.5-inch drive in there. However, they don't seem to have given you a 2.5-inch sort of SATA to ribbon cable, so you would need to source that yourselves. But they do give you a tray where this will mount in. I wonder if it's underneath it. Let's just have a quick look, because it feels like there's something underneath there. Certainly doesn't feel like a connector, that's for sure. So I'm fairly confident you will need to source a cable, SATA ribbon cable adapter for there. Yep, okay, so there's nothing in there. So you just get the little mounting tray for the 2.5-inch drive, which goes there, and then you'd run the cable. Presume the cable will go underneath there, round and into this connector port just here, which is just you'd flip the top up, slot your cable in, and lock that back down again. Okay, let's see if we can get into here, which looks like is the memory. Okay, so there's our port for our SODIMM. So we can add another 8 gig in there, or another 16 gig in there, I would have thought, as a maximum. I'm not sure what the total amount of memory that you can add into this. I'm presuming it is it'll either be 32 gig chip that you can put in there, but my guess is that actually you don't want to go any more than 16 gig in there to give you 24 gig usable. So that's where that goes, and this cover, once you've inserted your memory, just clips in. 2 clips on this side, a little clip on that side, and 2 on the back here as well, of which I've missed one. There we go, that's it. You want to make sure that you go in between, so it's a little clip like that, and you slot the case in there around the sides. And then on the top here, this isn't a thermal pad, it's just a looks like a shock absorber type of pad. It's a thick foam pad. Battery wise, easy to get to, and the cable for the battery goes in here, so you just unclip that and take out 2 extra screws by the look of it. Yeah, because that's all free. You need to take the screws out of these 2 because they're 2 mounting points, and then you've got 2 screws over here, and then that battery will come out if you ever need to change the battery. So that's it in terms of the device internals. Let's move on and get this back together, which is just the reverse order of what we've done here, and then have a look at the Windows install. Alright, so that's the screws mounted back in here, and then it's just a matter of taking your cover, making sure it's going on the right way, and you just want to gently push around the edges, clip it all back together. Like that, and then get all the screws back in. So don't forget, you've got the smaller screws that go in the front, and the larger screws go everywhere else. Once it's back together, we can move on. Okay, so finally here we are, booted into Windows. Let's have a look. The first thing that we need to check is I want to have a look at the bloatware, see how much rubbish they package in with this. Bearing in mind this is a home laptop rather than a a business laptop. I mean, it is a business laptop, but it's bought through the home options on Lenovo. So let's have a look. Okay, McAfee LiveSafe, so we're going to get rid of that. Another great vendor here that's only installing the relevant language of Microsoft 365 for us, which is excellent. And that's it. I cannot believe it. That's amazing. So one piece of software that we need to remove, absolutely no bloatware at all on this, because you know it's fine to have a bundled antivirus on there. So that's that bit sorted. Now let's have a look at the system again. Ryzen 5 5500U with Radeon graphics, 2.1 gigahertz base clock speed, which is I think what we said. Yep, we did. Bursting up to 4 gigahertz 8 gig of soldered RAM with the ability to add one more memory chip in there, and that is it. So overall, what do we think about the laptop? So there is no backlit keyboard on this. That was one of the things that I said I was going to check out. So bear that in mind when you're ordering this one, if that's something that you really wanted. Let's now have a look at the camera. Have a look at the quality of that. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty good, not bad. 720p. Let's go in and just look at the settings here just to confirm that. 720p, 0.9 megapixel, 30 frames a second on the video. Have they got a flicker control? Oh, auto flicker control. Okay, so this is that's good. So it will detect when you've got flicker. I know we get flicker because of our LED light panels, although the one that causes the flicker is off at the moment. Let me just check to see if that starts flickering. Okay, no it doesn't. So auto flicker reduction seems to work. So yeah, pleased with that. Okay, so the next thing that we said we wanted to check out was the sound quality. Okay, let's just pop over to YouTube and have a little listen. Okay, let's have a listen. Okay, so we need to tell our sound that we're not outputting it via the output device, via our OBS Studio.
Lifetime tech support. Shop now at chillblast.com.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. It's not really tinny, not bad sound quality. So is this a gaming laptop? Absolutely not. No, this is an everyday, high-powered everyday laptop, being a Ryzen 5 processor. Where did we get it from? So we purchased this actually from, we couldn't find a suitable one in stock, and certainly with Lenovo, but we found a bargain with a company called Laptops Direct that we've done business with for many years. So price-wise, I think this was $599. No, this was $499 because there was £100 off. So I'm not sure what the regular price is. It said it was $599 with £100 off. So normal price, I guess, is $599. But yeah, good, suitable laptop. This is ideal for business users. Being a home laptop, you don't expect it to join a work domain. You can't do that, and you're not going to be able to join it to Microsoft 365 Active Directory without having a Pro license on here. So bear that in mind when you're ordering one of these, or get yourself a license key and do an upgrade. So if you found that video useful, I hope you did, because we certainly did. We haven't seen one of these Lenovo laptops for a while. But yeah, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.